There's a drug in Colombia that doesn't just knock you out, it makes you say yes to anything. That's not a line from a movie, it's real. It's called Scopolamine, and it nearly destroyed my life. If you're planning to travel anywhere in Latin America, the next few minutes could literally save your life. Before we dive into this nightmare, hit that subscribe button and share this video with someone who travels. What you're about to hear isn't just a story, it's a survival guide. My name is Kevin. I'm a singer-songwriter from Northern Ireland, and I've been living in Colombia for 11 years. I speak the language, I know the culture, I thought I was street smart. I was wrong. Let me give you a preview of just how bad this gets. Picture waking up in the back of a stranger's taxi, drenched in sweat, with 8 hours completely erased from your memory. Your phone is gone, your wallet is empty, and when you check your bank account. I went from having enough money for a comfortable life to literally $10 in my account. But that's not even the worst part. The worst part is discovering this was a military precision operation involving an entire criminal network. And I was never just a random target. They had been watching me from the moment I walked into that bar. But to understand how I lost everything, you need to know how it all started. And trust me, it started so innocently that you would have made the exact same mistakes I did. Let me take you back to what should have been just another beautiful evening in Cartagena. Cartagena is like something out of a fairy tale. Colonial buildings in every color imaginable, horse-drawn carriages, street musicians on every corner. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the kind of place where you let your guard down because everything feels like a movie set. I was there for inspiration, guitar in hand, looking for stories to turn into songs. I was staying at Casa Lopez, a decent hotel in the historic center. My friend had flown in from Ireland to visit me. We ended up at Donde Fidel, right in the main square, always buzzing with tourists and locals. The kind of place that feels completely safe because it's so public. We ordered drinks when these two women approached us. Now, if you've traveled in Latin America, you know this happens. Colombian people are incredibly friendly, especially in tourist areas. So let me ask you this. Two attractive, friendly women approach you at a popular tourist bar, want to chat, seem genuinely interested in conversation. What do? Be honest. These girls seemed completely normal. Good conversation, laughing at our jokes, asking about Ireland. Nothing pushy, nothing screaming danger. They were dressed nicely, spoke decent English, knew local spots. Before we left, one of them, let's call her Sophia, asked for my number, said she'd love to show me some local spots tourists don't usually see, the authentic Cartagena experience. I gave it to her, of course I did, why wouldn't I? What I didn't realize was that I had just painted a target on my back. I wasn't a tourist having fun anymore, I was prey. And the hunt had officially begun. Here's what the police eventually told me. These women don't randomly approach foreigners. They study their targets. They watch you, learn your patterns, find out where you're staying, how long you'll be in town, and most importantly, how much money you have access to. That phone number. It wasn't for friendly conversation. It was the key they needed to unlock everything I had built over a decade. The next 24 hours were about to become the most expensive day of my entire life. The next morning, my friend flew back to Cali. I had 2 more nights alone in Cartagena, exactly what I wanted for songwriting. Around midday, Sophia messaged me, "Here's another question. You're in a beautiful foreign city, you've got time to kill, and a local is offering to show you around. Red flag or golden opportunity?" We texted back and forth. She suggested meeting around sunset, grabbing local food, walking around less touristy parts. It sounded perfect, exactly the cultural immersion every traveler dreams of. She came to my hotel around 6:30 p.m. Here's where the first real red flag should have stopped me. She didn't have proper ID, just some provisional document. Hotel security wouldn't let her up. Looking back, this probably saved my life. If she'd gotten into my room, I might not be here telling this story, but I just thought, no big deal, let's explore the city. We walked toward the famous clock tower. It was golden hour, the city alive with street performers, vendors, families. The atmosphere was magical. We stopped at a street vendor and bought drinks, regular sodas from a guy with a cooler cart. Nothing suspicious. We found a bench with a perfect view of the clock tower and Caribbean Sea. We talked about music, my life in Colombia, her family. She seemed genuinely interested. I was thinking this might turn into something real. Then, about 45 minutes in, Sophia suddenly said, "Oh, perfect timing. That's my friend over there. Mind if she joins us?" I said, "Sure, no problem." Those were the last words I remember speaking clearly for the next 8 hours. Before I tell you about waking up in hell, let me explain exactly what scopolamine does, because understanding this drug could save your life. Scopolamine, they call it devil's breath, and once you understand what it does, you'll know why. This isn't like being roofied. Scopolamine doesn't knock you unconscious, it makes you compliant, completely, utterly compliant. Imagine being awake, able to walk and talk, but having absolutely no ability to resist suggestions. Someone tells you to withdraw money, you'll do it with a smile. They ask for your PIN, you'll hand it over like you're helping a friend. You literally become a zombie under someone else's control. The drug eliminates your ability to perceive danger or make rational decisions. It's odorless, tasteless, and can be absorbed through your skin. They can blow it in your face, slip it into your drink, even put it on paper. One small dose, and your mind is no longer your own. These criminals have perfected their technique over hundreds of victims. They know exactly how much to use, when to use it, and how to make it look completely normal. And they had just deployed their weapon against me with surgical precision. I came to in the back seat of a taxi. My head was pounding, I was drenched in sweat, everything felt foggy and wrong. I had no idea where I was, how I got there, what time it was. The last memory was sitting on that bench watching the sunset. The taxi driver kept looking at me with genuine concern and fear. He kept saying, "Este señor está drogado, no sabe dónde está." This man has been drugged, he doesn't know where he is. Think about that. A taxi driver in Cartagena immediately recognized scopolamine poisoning. This wasn't his first victim. This happens so often that drivers are trained to spot it. He drove me around for hours trying to figure out where I belonged. Finally, he recognized my hotel area and got me back to Casa Lopez. I woke up the next morning feeling like I'd been hit by a truck. I started checking my belongings. Phone, gone. Wallet, still there but completely empty. Every peso, every dollar, every card. Only my passport remained. But I wasn't too worried yet. Losing cash is recoverable, right? I had bank cards, I could get new ones issued. So I logged into my online banking. At first, through my drugged haze, I saw 41 million pesos and felt relieved. They didn't get much, but then I looked closer. That wasn't my balance. That was what was left. 41,000 pesos, about $10. I scrolled through the transaction history and what I saw made me physically sick. 17 separate transactions. In under 2 hours, over 60 million pesos, nearly $15,000, systematically drained from my accounts. But here's what blew my mind. Most of that money was funneled through one restaurant in a 10-minute window. This wasn't random. This was surgical. While I was unconscious and compliant, they used me like a human ATM. They walked me to multiple locations, had me withdraw maximum amounts, authorize transfers, liquidate everything I'd built over a decade. $15,000 might not sound like much, but I'm a teacher and musician. That represented 10 years of disciplined saving, my emergency fund, my future, my security. And they did it using my own hands, my own voice, my own authorization. I ran to the bank first. The manager looked at my transactions, nodded sympathetically. Yes, this definitely looks like fraud. Then came the but. But there's nothing we can do. You'll need to file a police report and go through Fiscalia. So I went to the police. They laughed, not chuckled, laughed. One officer said, "Gringo, you should know better than to trust Colombian women." But then something interesting happened. When I described Sophia, they started nodding. They pulled out a folder full of photos. "Is this her?" they asked. They knew exactly who she was. Photo, probably her name, address, criminal history. Their response? "Sorry, you still have to go through Fiscalia. We can't do anything." Let that sink in. The police know who's committing these crimes. They have photos, evidence, victims coming regularly. But they're not stopping it. I spent weeks interviewing people, lawyers, bank employees, other victims. What I learned was staggering. This isn't just Sophia and her friend. This is an entire ecosystem. Street vendors providing drugged drinks, fake businesses processing stolen money, taxi drivers transporting victims, possibly even bank insiders facilitating transfers. And at the top, people with enough power to ensure police investigations go nowhere. Prosecutors drag their feet. Victims get shuffled from office to office until they give up. I wasn't just robbed by criminals. I was robbed by a system designed to protect those criminals. But here's what keeps me awake. I'm one of the lucky ones. Scopolamine doesn't just empty bank accounts. Some victims go into comas. Others never fully recover mentally. Some disappear entirely. I survived. I'm here to tell this story. That means I have a responsibility to every future traveler. So yes, I'm suing the bank. Yes, I'm pushing for criminal investigations. I'm using every platform to expose this network. This experience destroyed my savings, but gave me purpose. I'm turning this nightmare into fuel for my music, writing, and potentially a documentary about tourist crime. If you've watched this far, you understand this could happen to anyone. Your brother studying abroad, your girlfriend on vacation, your friend backpacking through South America. Here's what I need you to do. Share this with everyone who travels. Hit that like button so more people see this. Subscribe because I'm going to keep telling these stories until something changes. Never accept drinks from strangers. Never give your hotel name or room number to new acquaintances. Trust your instincts. If something feels off, it probably is. Don't go out with your main debit or bank card. Use a backup card with a low daily limit or a credit card with limited funds. Travel with a second phone, one that has no banking apps, crypto wallets, or sensitive accounts installed. Set up emergency contacts, cloud backups, and know how to remotely lock or wipe your phone in case it gets stolen. Use strong PINs and avoid unlocking your phone in front of strangers, especially at night. This happened to me, but it doesn't have to happen to you. Stay smart, stay safe, share this story, and if you've got one of your own, tell it. We're listening.